Hello, good evening, good night, good morning, good day, good afternoon to all the TBC members and TBC leaders globally. I am Casper Deadmine. This is another series of my TBC 24/7 live broadcast. It's time now we all TBC broadcasters need to ground ourselves to gold. We must not confuse ourselves with the public. We must promote our private community, which is our TBC private community. So, as broadcasters, we need to ground ourselves to gold. Today, I will take this opportunity to share you with the blog poster article made available by the TBC admin through the blog. As you can see on the blog poster article, it's time for broadcasters and the TBC community to ground themselves to gold. This poster article was put on November 19, 2018 by the TBC admin. As seen on the poster, the biro indicating taking the box as private on this poster. The article says we don't want any confusion about our private status in the world today. Public regulators are looking for any excuse to rob our private currency and tie us down because they could care less about our mission to end poverty globally. Understand one thing: government is force. Force is the nature of government, and they rule over the public. It is very, very correct. Let me repeat: government is force. Force is the nature of government, and they rule over the public. Yet governments are bound by law. It is my opinion that as a whole, humanity lacks the nature, humanity lacks the maturity to live without government today. That is very, very correct. Humanity lacks the maturity to live without government today. So hear me loud and clear. Admin is not anti-government. Of course, I will never support the abuse of power that continues to come out of government, even today in modern times. Private societies such as ours have lawfully existed for thousands of years, to my knowledge. Private simply means outside of the domain of government. Private equals self-regulated. What we are doing is lawful, and it is important that every member behave in a lawful manner when they are talking about TBC. Let me repeat. Private equals self-regulated. What we are doing is lawful. And it is important that every member behave in a lawful manner when they are talking about TBC. Research has shown us that we are grounded when we compare the value of our private currency to the value of gold, but can be problematic when we compare our value to any fiat or money regulated by any government. This is the official call out to all broadcasters and every member of TBC to stop comparing our coins to fiat. Let me repeat. This is the official call out to all broadcasters and every member of TBC to stop comparing our coins to fiat. Just as we stated we would in the first public notice, we have removed the references to any fiat from our websites. Clearly, our admin fee is 4 grain, 4 grains of gold. We encourage and reward transactions that are done at increments of 40 gr, 40 grains of gold. The government did not make gold. Mother Earth has provided us this gold, and she won't stop us from measuring the value of our coins against the value of gold. We don't want to upset any government regulators by our words. That is why each and every member needs to embrace the reference to gold and stop referencing fiat. As you can see in the poster below, we have marked cash flow achievements in grains of gold. And you should know that a third-party calculator for GR for grain is on your KCBO dashboard. There are 480 GR for grain in 1 troy dozen of gold. All TBC members should become experts in grains of gold. So as shown in these steps in cash flow achievement, they all stated in grains of gold. Like in step 1, starting you can be able to earn 40 grain a day. Step 2, you can increase up to 100 grain a day. Step 3, you can be able to increase up to 200 grain a day. Step 4, 400 grain a day. Step 5, 1,000 grain a day, and step 6, 2,000 grain a day. TBC kringles are not backed by gold. Let me repeat, TBC kringles are not backed by gold. And that means we are not pegged to gold either. The value of our TBC kringles comes from our members, and we measure that value in grains of gold. We do not want to be sloppy in making this clear when we are inviting others to join us in our private community and society. As on this poster article, on this poster, it says the true value of TBC is based on the number of living men and living women that joins us in agreement as members. We simply measure that value in gold. It's very, very important to take note. Let me repeat, the true value of TBC is based on the number of living men, living women that join us in agreement as members. We simply measure that value in gold. This is a serious matter, and we want to be at peace with all governments and their respective regulators all around the world. We don't interfere with the public, so they should not interfere with us in the private. Admin asks for your full cooperation and thanks you in advance for it. My fellow TBCans, this article is very, very important, very informative to all of us TBCans globally. We all broadcasters must ground ourselves to gold. That is, we must not compare TBC kringles with fiat currencies. We must measure the value of our TBC kringles with gold. So whilst doing that, we will not interfere with the government regulators. We all TBC members must be able to maintain peace with our respective governments from whichever country we come from. Thank you, TBC admin, for this very, very important and informative poster article. May God bless TBC admin.